Dear attendees of the International Teacher Education Conference 2016, we would like to apologize for not attending the conference in person and at the same time take the opportunity of presenting our research titled Social Intelligence of Teachers and Coping with Demanding Situations in Teaching Practice Virtually. This research was conducted by Miroslav Frankovský, Zuzana Birknerová, Lucia Zbihlejová and Anna Lelková, teachers and researchers of the Faculty of Management of University of Prešov in Prešov, Slovakia. The main objective of our study was to specify the links between the social intelligence attributes of teachers and evaluate forms of behavior of teachers in demanding educational situations. The presentation contains brief theoretical overviews of the concepts of social intelligence and coping with demanding situations, followed by the statistical analysis of data acquired by two relevant methodologies and the results of these analyses, which support the existence of statistically significant correlations between a social intelligence attribute and evaluation of forms of behavior in a demanding educational situation. Existence of social intelligence is supported in literature by several opinions according to which it is not possible to consider only one single type of intelligence, but quite contrarily, it is important to specify separate types of intelligence. An overview of the criteria utilized in literature when defining social intelligence proposes a terminological and semantic relationship among social intelligence, social competence, and social skills, which may be accepted also in the context of teaching practice. In this context, social intelligence was identified by measuring social skills. A narrower definition of social intelligence may be found among authors who accentuate the importance of decoding social information. Social intelligence is therefore defined by such skills as reading nonverbal marks or an ability to make assumptions based on the behavior of other people. Adequate role behavior, social perception, ability to have a certain insight into interpersonal relations, processes, reflection of experiencing and behaving of others in interpersonal situations, these all belong to the main components of social intelligence. Social intelligence is also defined as a behavioral flexibility or ability to change one's behavior depending on the circumstances of the situation. In terms of behavioral results, social intelligence may be also defined as an ability to allow others to behave freely. It could be thus summarized that the main components of social intelligence are adequate role behavior, social perception, ability to have a certain insight into interpersonal relations and processes, and reflection of experiencing and behaving of others in interpersonal situations. In the teaching practice, one encounters various situations. In some, it is possible to behave without a problem. One is usually not even conscious of their management. However, there are other situations, management of which requires overcoming certain obstacles and coping efforts. This type of situations may be labeled as demanding. Demanding situations occur in various areas of life and throughout the whole life. Typical areas are family environment, school, work, sports, and leisure time. Teaching practice is one of the areas in which occurrence of demanding situations is not rare. Occurrence of these situations in the process of education is a natural part of pedagogical activities. From the perspective of effectiveness of the educational process, it is crucial to focus on the ways of coping with demanding situations. This coping may be understood as a significant dynamic element of processes of education and upbringing. Effectiveness of coping with demanding situations in the educational process is conditioned by several factors. Generally, it is possible to identify these factors as personality traits of teachers, and on the other hand, the factors are represented by the characteristics of the particular demanding situation. In the context of personality traits of teachers, a significant place is taken by social intelligence. Generally, coping with demanding situations is a reflection of general sharp dynamics of human life. It is about resolving issues of how to proceed and what forms of behavior to choose when trying to manage one's difficulties. The main focus lies in description and characterization of various approaches and strategies of coping, which is studied within various situational contexts and conditions. From the perspective of behavior strategies of teachers, some researchers confirmed the existence of several links between these strategies and social intelligence. Found were the positive and linear links among 4 behavior strategies of teachers in classrooms, namely discussion, acknowledgement, participation, and hinting, and the negative links in relation to 2 strategies, namely punishment and aggressiveness. In our research of links between the 2 mentioned aspects, the sample consisted of 97 teachers, 20 of which were male and 77 were female, aged between 25 and 68 years. Their teaching experience ranged from 0 to 45 years. The analyses were carried out by means of 2 original methodologies. To measure social intelligence as a personality trait, the Massey questionnaire by Frankowski and Birknerova was utilized. This methodology consists of 3 factors labeled as manipulation, empathy, and social irritability. It contains 21 items which are evaluated on a 5-point Likert scale, where 0 represents the response never and 4 represents the response very often. In order to detect the ways of coping with demanding situations, Amir Khan's coping strategy indicator was used. This questionnaire consists of 33 items describing various coping styles evaluated on a 4-point Likert scale with the possible responses of yes, rather no, and no. The so-called CSI contains 3 scales, each formed by 11 questionnaire items. The coping scales are labeled as problem solving, seeking social support, and avoidance. The analysis of differences found in the levels of evaluation of the individual social intelligence attributes by teachers, as well as the individual forms of coping with demanding educational situations, were conducted by means of the Friedman test. The acquired results support the existence of statistically significant differences among the mentioned aspects. As for the social intelligence, it was detected that male as well as female teachers preferred to use the attribute of empathy. The attributes of manipulation and social irritability were marked in the questionnaire as utilized almost never or sometimes. Teachers also preferred to use problem solving and social support as their favorite coping strategies. Concerning the significant correlations among social intelligence attributes and coping strategies, the results of the analysis confirmed the existence of links between the social intelligence attribute empathy and the coping strategy problem solving, then between empathy and social support, and also between social irritability and problem solving. This table provides a summary of the significant correlations between the social intelligence attributes and evaluation of forms of behavior of teachers in demanding educational situations. Negative correlations between empathy and problem solving and empathy and social support means that the more empathetic teachers are, the more they are prone to solve a demanding educational situation by a direct intervention or with the help of other people, for example, their acquaintances. In correlations, the negative sign is the result of reversed scales in the methodologies Massey and CSI. Contrarily, the more socially irritable teachers are, the less they are prone to solve a situation by using immediate, direct procedures. Effective coping with demanding situations which occur in the process of education are an inevitable prerequisite for quality increase of the educational process. Successful coping with demanding situations also affects the positive work and social climate of the school environment. It has a positive impact on the mental and physical health of teachers and students, as well as on broader social environments in which these teachers and students live, with the dominant part taken by the family environment. The presented findings support the eligibility of considering a multi-factor concept of social intelligence, as well as of coping with demanding situations. Simultaneously, these findings confirm the correctness of considering several different types of intelligence. Significance of empathy as a social intelligence attribute is highlighted also by other authors who claim that effectiveness of communication of teachers depends on the interpretation of their own behavior as well as behavior of students. Development of socially intelligent behavior of a teacher is connected to the improvement of interpretation of their behavior in the school environment. Results of the conducted research relate also to the specification of social intelligence as a personality trait, which may be considered to be an essential social skill of the teaching profession, as well as important precondition of its successfulness. The concept of this research confirms the significance of teachers' personality as a key factor in the process of education. Eventually, teachers' behavior and coping with demanding situations in the teaching practice are highly influenced by the image of the educational institution. The mentioned position of the teacher's personality is connected mainly to their ability to understand and interpret a social situation, rather than to the efforts to define a generally applicable model of an effective teacher. In this context, social intelligence and the ways of coping with demanding situations play truly significant roles. Thank you all very much for your attention. If you are interested in our research and would like to find out more about it, please do not hesitate to contact us at the provided email address. We wish you all the best in your work and hope you have a great stay in Dubai.